Right. Dude, Chad Muska in the fucking house. Woo!
Got a new super shoe dropping.
Dude, he's developed a sleeve allergy.
Yeah, they gotta get shaved off.
Look at that though. Like you could see the tats and everything. You could see the vulture. What's on the other side?
Goat.
A goat.
Goat with a flower.
Baphomet with a flower.
Demon goat.
Is Baphomet even really a demon?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right, dude. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man.
Absence breeds fondness. Haven't seen you in a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, this is standard 2 weeks. How was the last hockey game? How was your upset last night with the fucking Stanley Cup final?
Oh, I had practice that night, and then Blues won. But the best part was I went out after that because I took off Thursday and Friday because I quit my job. God.
What day did you give notice on? Because you've been
quit my
talking
job this
about
week,
this.
Monday.
You've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah. I
So
quit this
the
Monday.
clock's ticking.
Yeah, I'm done next Friday. It's
Okay.
my last day. But I took off Thursday and Friday, and so I had practice on Wednesday. Stanley Cup Game 7, Blues won. Yay! I don't really care for the Blues or the Bruins, but
Why? Because do you coughing still?
yeah, I have a doctor's appointment next Thursday.
Coffenstein, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I have an appointment next Thursday.
Dude, I went out, not to derail us too far, I went out last Saturday, woke up Sunday morning, fucking throat, tonsils swollen. 2 days, and they thankfully it just
I have no
went
other
away.
symptoms. It's just this, like, I think I described this last time. It's like this hiccup-like cough where I get excited, or if I'm talking for a prolonged period, I start to get these little... And it's very obnoxious.
Have you or a family member have mesothelioma?
So
Call
I have a doctor's appointment.
5555, cash now.
I'm having a doctor's appointment Thursday. But back to the main point. So
That's kind of far off for a doctor's appointment, isn't it? For like a cough?
for the time frame that I needed it to be after work. I wanted it next week because I called the doctor's office. He's like, "Oh yeah,
I mean,
we can get you in right now."
You quit. You quit. Do you really give that much? Okay, so
No,
you're
but
trying to-
I called them and they were like, "Yeah, we got an appointment. We can get you in an hour." And I'm like, "It's like 9 a.m. I just got to work. Like I don't. No, we'll do next week. Try and get it after this time frame." And they're like, "Okay."
Depending on what it is, like a doctor's appointment, don't be like, "Hey, got a doctor's appointment. I'll be back."
I mean, I probably could, but it's fine. I'll make it.
It's literally a day before your last day.
Yeah, I'll be fine. So anyway, the story. So I got done with practice when I had a couple with the boys, and then Brittany told me that she had met up with an old friend, and they were gonna go to the safe house, the house of safety.
It's just not the same.
So we go in there.
It's just not the same since Marcus bought it.
But we go in there, and it's pretty quiet because it's a Wednesday night. Had a couple drinks, talked to a couple people. I got offered a part-time job taking care of some extra basically picking up some hours at this pet store that one of them just opened. It's like right on Brady. It's actually a pretty slick location. But
Really, a pet store on Brady.
yeah.
So they're just gonna fucking take care of like the new age pagan chicks. Like, here's your ferret.
They just have dog and
Companion.
cat stuff pretty much.
It's just like supplies, no animals.
Yeah. So
That's no fun. You don't get to play with animals all day.
dogs can come in whenever they want, though. There was when I was in there training, like 2 dogs
Yes,
came in.
yeah.
But
That's cool. Wait, so you do have a job lined up? That was my main
yeah,
thing.
I already
was gonna ask.
I already got a little job lined up. It's not enough to take care of a ton of bills, but I'm gonna take a little time off. Then I'll get another gig.
Just kind of, recuperate yourself, get out of like this corporate grind that you've been
this manufacturing gig. But anyway, so we're at the safe house, have a couple drinks. Everyone's just like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you in forever."
in. And who walks in the door but Jim Jeffries?
I wish that would have been a great topper too. But we go from the back bar to the front bar to say hi to a couple more people, and there's this guy there, and he's just like, he's wasted, bald guy, probably an inch shorter than me, and he's just like, "Oh, did you guys watch Chernobyl on HBO?" I'm just like, "No, I was like, "No, I didn't." He's like,
"That's how I lost my hair."
He was just, he's just rambling. He's like, "Well, I'll be the Americans, you can be the Russians," and I'm just like, "Okay, whatever you say, buddy." And we pal around a little bit. He's like, let's do some shots together. I literally have talked to this guy for 5 seconds. Brittany's trying to disengage. Well, we do the shots with this guy, and he like holds his nipples in front of, because it's me and Sky, and he does the shot, and he takes a step back, and he goes,
so he's like while the fucking alcohol is flashing off of his tongue, he's like, "Oh, that's what I like."
Yeah, he's just like, "Oh." He's not pinching them. He's like cupping his nipples between his thumb and his index
might
finger.
As well be.
Yeah, but you know what? The person I'm there with grabs and pinches his nipple, and I'm just like, "Oh!" And I'm just like, "I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here. I cannot do this." And the guy is like making this face like he's clearly enjoying this. He's just like, "Oh yeah."
When was this?
Wednesday.
Okay, I was gonna say Pride Fest was in town.
No, this guy was like, "I'm here with my stockbroker buddies," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And like his stockbroker buddies are on the other side of the bar with like a couple chicks, and he's just kind of this, like, they're younger. This guy's probably mid 40s, like older, and just kind of like meandering around by the side of the bar, just being drunk and not really part of the group. And I'm just like, "Oh Lord." Oh my God, dude. I just wish I could recreate the face for everyone just as perfect as it was. Yeah, a little nipple twisting going on, and
oh God,
we bailed. We bounced right out of there.
Yeah, we were like, "Wow, no wonder I quit this place."
And we got in the car, and I was like, "Why'd you pinch his nipple? That was totally unnecessary. Why'd you pinch the nipple?"
Brittany did it?
No,
somebody else?
Her friend who was back in
okay.
town.
Oh, you did not make that clear that the
Brittany, like, right away
pincher was Brittany's friend.
Yeah, it was just like, "Why'd you do that?" And there was no good answer. And then we went to another bar and had a couple more drinks, but yikes. The moral of the story is, take shots from strangers. Don't pinch their nipples, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually went out last weekend to see a friend's band because I have a friend who's been like doing music for. I played in bands with him, and he's been working on like some of the music that he's working on for this band for like 10 years. And they had their first show, and I didn't go. And I was like, "Man, I'd really be a piece of shit if I didn't go to this one." So
was that for SL? Was that for SA? For Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing hockey. Otherwise, I would have came out.
It was actually super tight. They were like kind of like a progressive mathy rock band, and I was fucking. I was giving Sam shit to his brother. Like, Sam couldn't hear because he was on the microphone and like rocking out and shit. And I was talking to his younger brother, who I hadn't seen in a while, who's a fucking goon, and I love that guy. I was like, Sam is like arched over an invisible horse and doing like a James Hetfield power stance because he's playing guitar and singing, which I have never seen him do before. Which was interesting. I couldn't understand a fucking word that he said. But
the sound setup, or
actually, Sam took a cue from me and like bought one of like the same product line. Like actually, the mixer we're going through right now, one of those Behringer's bread box things, where it's just a digital mixer, and you put it in your rack. He ran sound, and like he has like a mix that he brings to every place that he plays at. But he ran sound for the entire gig that night. It sounded fucking dope.
But you couldn't understand him?
Well, it's a show, dude.
I guess.
It's like cymbals don't get mic'd, and they're just like, and the voice is just like, I mean, it's not really, like, if you're screaming, generally, it's not really, like, audible. You know what I mean? But, anyways, I'm fucking waiting in line for the bathroom.
Boy meets girl?
Nope. Boy meets boy. Yeah. I'm fucking standing in line for the bathroom, and a fucking dude walks out, and I wait, like I'm about to walk in, and like the door closes. A couple seconds pass by, another dude walks out. I was like, there's one of two things that could have been going on there. Either they were swapping blowjobs or doing cocaine.
Yeah, or a little powder on the nose.
Let's go powder our noses, boys. All in all, it was a fun night. I met some just like random street urchins, as you know, you got in River West.
And it's getting warm. They're out now. Even on the drive down here, it was just like a couple people just wandering around the sidewalk talking to themselves, making pointing a finger up at the heavens while they talk to themselves. And I'm sitting there just like, is that what you do in your house in the winter? Like you just pace around in a circle in your living room and point up and ramble to yourself?
I catch myself doing that sometimes when I get in a certain kind of mood. Like when I get in a, I don't know. I don't want to say manic because I haven't been diagnosed. But sometimes I have like a manic kind of mood where I'm just like hyperactive. And I find myself sometimes on the weekend where the mind is not occupied pacing. I will pace back and forth and just think. And it's not like that. It's like I'll fucking like sometimes I'll catch myself talking to myself. I'm not crazy. No.
There's a guy at my soon-to-be ex job that walked around and talked to himself, and
it's not like that. It's like if I'm around people.
I'm not saying you're like
if
that.
If I'm around people and like
describe this gentleman.
My social like mind is engaged. That's like enough to keep me from doing that. But the mind just always goes with this one.
This guy at work, though, I might have even shared about this man before, but when I first noticed, because I didn't work directly with him, I'm in a stall in the bathroom, and I hear like some feet shuffle in, and I hear like, they're all afraid of you. And he like goes over, and he's just like, oh, yeah. He's like mumbling quietly, so I can't really make out what he's saying. I just hear him like unzip and like start painting. He's just, oh yeah, they're all afraid of you. Oh yeah. And I'm just like, oh God, this guy's fucking crazy. So I asked his associate that works in close proximity. He's like, yeah, man, he does that all day just to get through the day. He's always talking to himself. We'll be having a conversation, and in between, like, the points that we're making, he'll still continue talking just in that hushed, mumbled voice. It's like, bizarre.
I think that's one of those things where he has, like, a crossover of his outer self and his inner self, because everybody talks to themselves all day long. You just don't vocalize it.
And he's vocalizing all of it.
Yeah, he can't help it but vocalize it. It's like in the beginning of Fear and Loathing, he's like, Jesus, did I say that?
Yeah, except this guy seems like he's been tormented by some Lovecraftian monster. And he's just, oh, yeah, no, they're not coming for us. You know, or whatever.
Have I got a subreddit for you on that note? Have you heard of I'm-sorry-jon?
Yeah, I love it.
Dude, it's fucking
awesome. I found myself drawing quite a few I'm-sorry-Jon cats. Garfields.
Dude, that's dope. After this, I know I talked to you about it before, but have I shown you, like, my drawing tablet for, like, sculpting and stuff like that? Or just, like, drawing?
No.
Let's play with that shit afterwards. You get a kick out of it if you like art.
I'm sure I would.
But
I'll draw I'm sorry, John Garfield.
I've known the meme for a while.
Yeah, I remember when the first comic came out where Garfield had eaten the entire house.
Yeah.
And the one where the guy made the gif where it was like John hiding behind a table inside.
For those of you who don't know what I'm Sorry John is it's just Garfield, except Garfield is like a Lovecraftian monster.
It's like he's the Thing.
Yeah,
he's like
basically. I sent a GIF that somebody had made this week to Rob because I know he likes that format, and I don't think he's actually seen the subreddit.
Yeah.
So I sent him that too, but that's actually how I found it. Somebody made this GIF of the Thing where they flamethrower like the spider demon that's walking around, and it was John flamethrowing Garfield.
Yeah.
And Garfield's just like, John, it hurts us. It hurts us.
I've seen. There's so many great ones where Garfield's asking for Odie or just some lasagna, and he just has spider legs or whatever else coming out of him.
I saw a really good one. It was like he was just like a space being. It was like larger than Earth, and John and Garfield were like in this realm where they're just like outside of Earth, and he was talking about Garfield was preaching to John about time and how it's an illusion and how there is no time. And John said, yes, but tomorrow's Monday and I have to go to work, Garfield. And it like defeated him.
I love it. Yeah, I like that subreddit.
Speaking of Reddit,
I like that whole thing they have going on there.
Yeah, I like new subreddits that come out like that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Keanu Reeves is just having a little bit of a moment right now on the internet?
Just having a moment again. The guy just seems to resurface and just everyone's just like, what a sweetheart. Every 2 years.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's probably because of John Wick, but it's also because of
This little E3
Cyberpunk
thing.
2077.
Yeah.
And it was a by chance moment that went viral, and it just like turned everybody else on to the wholesomeness of Keanu Reeves again.
Yeah. He's a very wholesome fella.
So he basically got heckled by a guy. He was doing a presentation at E3 announcing Cyberpunk's 2077 release date, and they basically revealed that he's like a main NPC in the game. So he was like, it's going to be amazing, and this guy was like, that kind of sounded Trumpy.
Yeah.
This guy heckled him. He's like, you're amazing. And he just goes back. She's like, you're amazing. And the internet is just like, oh, I love Keanu Reeves.
It was your
all
breathtaking,
over again.
though, right?
It was like, you're breathtaking.
Yeah.
No, you're breathtaking. They gave that guy a free copy of the game, I believe.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of images resurfacing, but they're actually fairly old of Keanu Reeves. Like, he's just a wholesome fella.
You know what I really like about him is when he does these public appearances where he's in front of a crowd, he does not seem comfortable at all. He seems super awkward about it, but like genuine, altruistic. I don't want to call him like Elon Musk-esque, but like, you know how like Elon Musk is not a good public speaker. Keanu Reeves is not a particularly good public speaker.
I haven't seen Keanu Reeves in a public speaking.
But it's just like, hey, good on
that.
you, dude. You good dude.
Yeah.
You know, I heard this one Keanu Reeves story where it was this guy was on a bus and he was like babysitting his nephew, and his nephew was just like fucking throwing this fit, and
yeah, I heard this story too. Keanu Reeves unbuttoned his shirt and fed him from his nipple.
Way to just not shut up and just let me go with it. Cocksucker. It's starting to replace the Bill Murray stories. You remember like the Bill Murray stories?
Oh yeah, where it's like no one will
ever believe you. I had a good one that I had made up. It was I went to fucking I had a one night stand with a girl, and the next morning when I took a piss, it burned when I peed, so I got a doctor's appointment. And I walk into the clinic, and I see the nurse, and who do you know? It's the girl that I saw. And I walk into my appointment. She's like, oh, why are you here? And I was like, I don't know. Got a cough or something. And then go in, see the fucking doctor. He's like, yeah, you have the clap. So I walk out, and she asked me, and was like, oh, well, what is it? And I said, well, and before I could finish, she pulls off her face. It's Bill Murray.
Yikes. So what did Keanu Reeves do? He breastfed this kid on the subway, and he...
Well, you ruined the fucking punchline, because the thing is, you're supposed to start telling the story like you'd never heard it. But now you know the punchline, so whatever I can say to embellish the story, it's fucking ruined.
Oh, I thought it was a real story you were telling.
No.
I thought you were telling a real internet story about Keanu Reeves doing something wholesome.
No, yeah, it was the breastfeeding one. Like, that's the... God damn it, Stefan.
Really? I haven't ever heard that before. I just made that up.
That was the fucking joke.
Oh.
Like, that was literally the fucking end of the joke. He fucking just, like, tells this whole story, and then at the end of it, he has Keanu Reeves breastfeeding his thing, and it's like, oh, you fucking walked me through this entire story and wasted fucking 4 minutes of my life reading this?
I haven't seen that. It's like a copy pasta, basically?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Fucking shithead. Oh, well.
Well, called it.
I didn't think of
Called it, I guess.
Yeah, you called it. Stefan called it. Joke ruiner. You know, place your bets on the joke. Is it a joke or not? Throw your money down. Oh, man. So I went on some bike rides this week.
Do you have a new bike? Or?
Yeah. Did you seen it? That's why I asked you. There's like, Stefan, you got a bike?
Oh, that's right. You mentioned this last week. I was like, no. Or last time I was here, you mentioned that.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, I don't got a bike.
No, I don't have a bike.
So I went for a bike ride Tuesday. And it went better than the first one. Because the first one, I literally got like a mile from my house. And I was like, I can't do this. I got to turn around. It was that bad. I tried riding to my dad's house, and thank God I didn't try to go further because the shortest route by miles is a brutal bike ride. It
All
is
uphill both ways?
There's, as soon as I get across Silver Spring, there's a decent size hill, and then a little lull, and then another hill, and then there's some downhill stuff. But once you get to Mill Road, it's like narrow, no shoulder, and then you get to this fucking hill that's just, it's like fucking, imagine riding uphill on County Line where the industrial park is. Just imagine riding uphill all that.
Pass.
A little steeper. Yeah. It's, I was,
Pass.
like, once I turned around and got back, I decided, I was like, okay, I'll ride in the car, the bike route. And I get to this, and I was like, wow, I would have been fucked. No way I could have done this.
There's this ridiculous hill to the west of the Mequon post office that I could never imagine having biked up it because there were cars that struggled to get up the sharp incline.
Like some San Francisco shit.
Yeah, it was very steep.
So that, like, my fucking lungs felt like asthmatic after I got back from that. And I was just like coughing and hacking. Went over my dad's and I was like, water. Sounded like fucking shitty bang bang or shitty clang clang. Just
Yeah.
Actually, that's how the old people sound when they come. It's just like, and dust comes out. But I found another route, like on the Oak Leaf Trail, that's a little less extreme, like right off the bat. It's like downhill and then kind of like level, some like minor hills. But it's like relatively like flat ground. Been doing that, and I fucking didn't have any like eye protection. Like I have a full face helmet that I use, but I didn't have any like shit over my eyes, and the
Get a
gnats,
bug in your eye?
the gnats are just so bad right now. It's like flying. It's almost like the mosquito apocalypse last year.
It's like a locust
Except
swarm.
they don't fucking suck your blood. They're just there, and if you're just flying through that, all that shit's just in my face. So I was like, wow, this is really bad. A turnaround, although I went further and went like 2.5 miles and then 2.5 miles back. And I get back and I get home and I'm like, there's shit in my eyes. And I like literally go to the fucking mirror and I have like gnats in my eyeballs that have just like splatted into me.
Oh no.
So I'm just like picking dead gnats out of my fucking eyes.
How does that happen? That's just disgusting.
You fly through a fucking
Yeah,
few clouds of
that,
gnats.
but
Like that, it was literally that bad. That like you just
insane.
go through a swarm of them, you'd kind of see them, and then you'd hit them, and it was like you just feel like pellets hitting your face.
It's just bizarre. I've seen gnat swarms. I've never flown through them at high speeds. I remember the mosquito apocalypse last year. That was brutal.
When camping with the
And you know
psycho
what?
girl.
I don't see a single mosquito this year.
Yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it is true.
Dude, last year camping was the fucking worst. Just like we had fucking hike in sites, and like immediately, like we didn't know where we had packed the mosquito spray, and we'd made one trip in and just getting eaten fucking live.
That's the kind of shit where you wake up in the morning, you roll over, and the person next to you looks like a raisin because they've been sucked dry.
Actually, we made sure we kept the tent like open, close. If you're getting in, get in quick. And we had those like little pads and like little propane canisters you put in, and it like heats up this little pad, and it like emits like a radius. We had fucking 2 of those going at all times to fucking just like create a perimeter.
Yeah.
Just create a little like a Gungan shield against the droid army.
Nice.
It was so bad though. We went to Walmart to get another one, and they were just like sold out of bug spray. Cleaned out. It was so bad.
That's insane. You just have to cake it on until it turns to a crust at that point, if you can get enough.
Well, we were using a spray, so it doesn't like cake on really. Like it doesn't get thick on you. But the main thing that you could do was like just get inside one of those mosquito repellent things. Those things work so good.
Could have got a beekeeper suit too.
I wonder how much those would fucking cost, dude. I wonder if that would have cost less than bug spray. I mean, it's just a fucking sheath. They can't be that expensive, right? Beekeeper suit?
Yeah, way cheaper. You can get one on Amazon from Zoontune, the Chinese seller, for $30.
2 of those, $60.
High end,
I don't know.
high end, 200, 130ish.
What about just a hazmat? I need to get a hazmat for some of the cringe videos I've been watching fucking lately, man.
Hazmat's pretty expensive.
Ooh, dang.
You get a $7 one though from Amazon.
Just get that in a welding
But the high
shield.
end, like I'm in the fucking movie Aliens and about to touch down on the surface.
I'm Dustin
That's
Hoffman in fucking Outbreak.
It's $666. Shockingly.
One of the fucking scientists from the 1980s version of the Blob.
This one looks pretty good. I'd go with this one.
Oh, it got you. It has your air tank in there and everything too.
Yeah. Only 140.
Only 140 to save your life. DuPont.
Yeah,
Tyvek.
DuPont has a good one.
Ooh, the 221S series coveralls. It's like some Deep 13 shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they got a fucking lime green one, hey?
Where is it?
I like that. All those.
Oh, I think that's more of a yellow.
Oh, man. There's like that one. There's like a yellow one, and that's some like Justin Bieber Soviet shit, man.
Yeah. Oh, enough of the hazmats. But I guess for future reference, it'd probably be safer to buy a completely protective enclosure.
Yeah, and then just fucking sweat off 5 pounds.
Win-win.
I guess. So people like intentionally do that. It's like, dude, you're just gonna like drink water and get it back.
What if you bicycle rode in a beekeeper suit?
I think it would get caught in the chain. Do you imagine just having like
You're just
fucking
naked?
MC Hammer puffiness around your
Yeah.
legs?
You're just naked, though. That just rips the
You're
whole
just
thing off.
fucking Bubble Boy on a bike. Like they'd have to create some sort of Mars spacesuit, which is just like the skinny jeans of spacesuits. That's kind of interesting that, like, basically a spacesuit has to create pressure to push on your body so your body doesn't just fly apart, in essence. So instead of doing that with air pressure for the Mars spacesuits, they're doing that with, like, tensioning in the suit. So it, like, fits you. And the suit has, like, tension that it puts on your body to make pressure.
Slim cut.
Rather than...
New spacesuits designed by... Vera Wang.
Right?
I'm trying to think of somebody.
It just fits like so good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of somebody that makes a slim. I was gonna say something like Kanye, but his stuff's all like baggy and oversized. So.
All right. And some of his stuff that he's been wearing lately just looks like a fucking homeless guy.
That's his shtick.
As of late.
But what's interesting now is all that new
streetwear has become streetwear.
There's like two takes. There's like that technical streetwear stuff. I forgot what they call it. I think they call it techwear. That stuff's whatever. I can deal with that. But the new like streetwear shit where it's like huge, gaudy, oversized shoes, mom jeans, and then like ridiculous colors with fanny packs and stuff. It's basically this weird combination between 80s colors and 90s clothing. I hate it.
Yeah. It's like,
it'll always be like...
You guys are just eating up the stuff you're just like putting it in a fucking casserole, damn it.
And we've been trying to get past this because it was disgusting. But, yeah, I was out yesterday and it was just like, there was a bunch of kids wearing the streetwear stuff. Like, the girls had like baggy mom jeans that were like pulled up over their belly buttons. And then the boys they're basically wearing capri pants. And they all had like raised shoes, like a good 3-inch shoe raise, like in the sole, like lifts. And
that's like late 90s shit.
It was crazy.
Chokers, have those come back yet?
I don't think so.
Chokers, the black belt and sucking dick. I know that they weren't doing it because you mentioned the girls wearing like baggy mom jeans. That kind of...
They're like ripped up. It's like weird. It's like supposed to be a fashionable mom jean, but like the mom jean cut it's shapeless, and then they're like ripped up. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, probably if you showed me a reference, but please don't. Please don't put energy into looking that up.
SNL already made fun of mom jeans. We don't need to go through it again.
Yeah, back in 94.
Yeah.
Made fun of that shit long time ago. That just like hit a thing in my head. Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish, if you're familiar with her. Billie Eilish. Yeah, but people call her Billie Eilish to make fun of her.
I've heard the name. Don't know anything this person has done.
You would recognize some of it's not my style of music. It's
some laser. Sorry, not laser. Some Kiss.
Kiss
FM.
It's 102.1.
103.7.
Some 102.1 stuff.
Oh, so it's like some indie garbage.
Not really. I don't know. It tries to be. It sucks. But if you like it. But like she was on Hot Ones. Seemed pretty cool. Like, so I can like separate the artist from the music or whatever. But she said something about because she wears like very baggy clothing. It's almost like a version of like a sad boy. It's like a sad girl aesthetic. But she said she wears baggy clothing so people don't sexualize her, which I thought was kind of respectable, because female artists are like ass, tits, very sexualized always, and this is just like it. Like she has fucking baggy clothes on, so you don't see none of that.
Remember when guys sagged their pants and wore really baggy clothing and they were rappers?
Like Ja Rule?
Yeah. Remember that?
If you saw him in the Firefest fucking documentary, like you could not imagine that was fucking him. Fucking, I'm real, baby, baby, with fucking J-Lo, 2001, fucking drop baggy pants with the fucking boxers hanging
Yeah.
out of it. I went through that phase, man.
So
Except I wasn't like a thug or anything
then
like
we'll
that.
do that. So we're not getting sexualized.
Well, they never said that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, hey, I get it. That's cool. I like the tech wear stuff though, kinda. It's supposed to be like
Tech wear?
it's supposed to
fuck is
be
that?
I don't know. Every all of it basically makes it look like you're gonna run and do parkour. It's supposed to be
Look like you're gonna get your fucking legs amputated below the knees so you can get those fucking hockey stick legs.
yeah. Basically, it's supposed to be like have
like-
high utility and be fashion forward or whatever.
Fucking
It's like
slightly stretchy, form-fitting cargo pants.
yeah, yeah, basically. Although they wear these weird like sling bags where they're like fanny packs, but they fit
got one
over
of
your
those.
chest.
I got one of
You
those.
seen those?
I have
Yeah.
one of those.
Oh, you do?
I used to use it to carry my charger on for the one wheel. And
No,
then I got a
not
real
like a
backpack.
single sash sling bag. Well, they do those sometimes, but this is like a full-on harness.
I actually have I have a fucking everyday carry bag. That's what it's called, because it's like literally designed to fucking be able to like unleash one arm from it, fucking pull like this fucking zipper out, and have a gun holster in your bag to like pull it out. I wanted it because it was like a cool place to like stash a knife.
Like one of these things.
No. You like wear it over your fucking your back, like a normal
okay.
backpack, and you basically like have like a little flap under here. So if you undo one arm and you pull the flap, it pulls the bag up and undoes the zipper, so you can reach in and pull your weapon.
Oh, okay.
And it's designed also to have like a fucking like a bulletproof insert in it, which I have not gotten
plate?
because I don't want to fucking carry that shit
I
around.
mean, like a plate?
yeah,
Okay.
or like a Kevlar, fucking like some sort of like woven, like something more lightweight, not like a fucking steel plate in it. But I wanted to get one that was like basically it was like a sash one with like a clip. And it was almost like it was just like a one-piece sash. So you just undo the clip and the offset of the bag weight, like, undoes it. I don't carry a gun. But, like, once I started, like, just, like, commuting across town.
No, man,
either
you're
I,
a
like,
Crocodile Dundee knife guy.
Yeah, it's legal in this state, man.
Yeah.
You can have whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Which is kind of awesome, kind of scary. Apparently, there was some like business motivation behind that with Scott Walker. He like knew a guy who had some sort of like knife.
I know a guy.
knife
I
industry.
know a guy that sells knives. So we're gonna hook him up. This is like tech wear shit, though. You've
But
seen this
I
stuff.
read into that. I was like, before I like started commuting across town. Tech wear. Oh, just fucking Slavic.
Yeah, I guess so. It looks like every guy's a character in Watch Dogs. It's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little much.
It is, but the new streetwear stuff is a little much for me too. It's just like goofy looking. I'm old.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just a guy
I'm
who
older than you.
doesn't like sleeves anymore.
Right? You've become Chad Muska. Look at you. We're going to have an intervention. He doesn't have sleeves anymore. What's next? Fucking just ghetto blasters in the street. Oh, whatever became of Chad Muska, man? They need to do an epically latered on him. Have you ever
They already
watched that?
did.
Really? They did an epically latered on Chad
Yeah,
Muska?
he's just like, I'm great.
It's like did he make some money and just like live off of it?
Yeah,
or-
he's still like doing DJing and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know he was a DJ.
Some modeling.
That's Chad Muska?
He's modeling a little bit.
There's those saggy pants, man. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
They ain't 93 anymore, man. I mean, 96 to 99.
He was dating one of the Hiltons, from what I remember.
Oh, no shit.
But yeah, this is probably what he looks like today. He's still working with Supra. I don't know. He's just Chad Muska, you know.
Oh, Jesus. For those of you who don't know who Chad Muska is, he was one of the selections on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I don't know about 3.
I know he was on 1 and 2. No, he was on 3. He was from that whole group of like when Tony Hawk was getting it big. You had Chad Muska.
Yeah, you had Tony Hawk, Bob Burnquist, Chad Muska, Rodney Mullen, Alyssa Streamer, Jeff Rowley. Who else am I missing here? There's a few more that I'm missing.
He got the big ones though. Burnquist, Hawk, and Muska.
So Tony Hawk and Burnquist were like the vert gods, and I'd say Burnquist is like more prolific than Hawk in that, just because
Burnquist just kept going forever.
Burnquist like invented like so many tricks. Like Tony Hawk just like was a smash hit poster boy
because he had the great name.
Yeah,
he had like a porno name.
Already.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? There's like, he shows up, his name is like Tony Evans. Something goes like, that's not going to work, kid. We're going to change your last name to Hawk. You're going to be huge. You're going to be big.
And Chad Muska was our white ghetto boy.
Yeah. Yes. They had like all these different like skate aesthetics.
It was like a boy band.
Yeah.
Burnquist did all the hard work. Muska was the white bad boy, ghetto white bad boy with the because he always had the huge boombox.
Rodney Mullen was the engineering nerd,
and Tony Hawk was the name.
It's the fucking Breakfast Club of skateboarding.
It was all a marketing ploy.
Shit.
But he was a good street skateboarder.
I remember watching something like a retrospective of like Tony Hawk when Neversoft, I think it was, came to him with his first residual check from the game. And they were like, yeah, the game did so well. Like, this is like life-changing. And he was like, okay. Like, he's probably heard that a million times before. Yeah. And then he got the check and he was like,
holy shit.
Holy shit.
Was Mike Vallely on that?
No. Oh my God, no. Maybe in 3.
He was the ultimate bad boy.
Yeah. It's like
because Andrew Reynolds wasn't on it.
Steven Sackmaster. Andrew Reynolds was on it.
He was?
Yes.
I guess he is a little bit older. I always just think he's so young.
Oh, Steve Caballero. He's like a fucking grandfather of skateboarding, man. Like I saw him doing a run. Like this guy has to be in his 60s or 70s now. And sometimes like I just wonder, it's like, how do you do that when you're like that old? Like that can like really fuck you up at that age. And it's like, oh yeah, they've been doing this their entire life. They're so graceful, they don't fall.
And he wears the gear now. He wears all the gear.
Oh, he's always worn the gear. He's always been like a helmet and knee pads kind of guy. Like a Hawk, always elbow pads, knee pads. You got to do that when you do vert.
Yeah, it's important to be safe though too.
It's still like a big thing of vert is just like you can come down and you could do the knee slide. And that is some of the gnarliest shit to watch somebody almost like get some, I don't know the physics behind it, where they go up and they come off of the lip. It like projects them to the flat so they can't like ride the transition down. They just fucking slam on the flats. They get like none of the energy transfer through the transmission. They just fucking smack on it. I've seen some people where their shoes have, just like come off their body. Yeah. That's how you know they died.
Yeah. Trying to think of who else. Daewon Song was in there, right? He was in the Tony Hawk.
No,
game.
He wasn't. Nope.
What?
Maybe as an unlockable and like an Easter egg. I know you had Spider-Man because Neversoft made the Spider-Man game. You had Darth Maul on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. So that was around the turn of the century.
I'm going to the wiki. Oh, you're right. He was only on American Wasteland and Proving Grounds.
Yep. Because there was a big thing when we had like P2P file swapping things like Kazaa and Morpheus. There was a video out there called Rodney Mullen versus Day One Song.
It's the hottest video ever.
It wasn't put out by like any skate company. It was just like some dude like cut it together and then like used the platform and like the clickbaitiness of the title to like spread it around. So it was like a hot video.
It was like the hottest video for a little while.
Yeah, I remember it had Club to Death from The Matrix as like... It's a hot song. It's a great song.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound anything like it, Stephen.
It's hard to imitate it.
Yeah, because you can't do like a full symphony and then the Amen breakbeat slowed down fucking 80 beats a minute.
Rodney Mullen, he was in there, man. I was literally just talking about Tony Hawk's pro skateboarding games on Wednesday, because the boys were reminiscing about old video games.
When they came out, they were fucking great. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, best soundtrack. Fucking Goldfinger's Superman was on that. Na 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 na. And that's brass.
Yeah,
that's the brass
some ska
section.
On there. Some ska on there.
Man, what happened to ska? When's ska gonna come back?
That's what we were listening to when we were playing hockey Thursday. That's why everyone...
Dude, that's like the spirit of the 90s. Hockey and ska.
That's why everyone was talking about Tony Hawk and shit that night. They were just like, man.
Have you ever knocked on wood? 'Cause I know it is good.
The mighty Bosstones.
Ska's so stupid. It's great.
It is great. It's
like,
a good time.
hey, band nerds and band nerdettes, want to be cool for a day? Oh, man. Wait. You play the clarinet? You're not allowed. Brass only.
Yeah, we need brass for our band.
Maybe a saxophone. Ska is like big band meets punk rock meets reggae.
You know what it is? I think the 90s is just the spirit of casserole. At the end of the day. Deep down inside.
Was there a recession going on? Because that's when you make the casserole. When you gotta scrape things together.
No, the 90s things were still pretty good. People didn't realize it was all about to hit the fan.
In the late 90s, maybe.
And they were just
like the early 90s, mid 90s.
People were riding the high of Nirvana and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. What the fuck they doing making casserole then? Posers.
I don't know, but they were really...
90s is full of posers.
The 90s was really just casserole. Ugly fashion. Just throwing everything together to try and make new things.
It's fusion. It's fusion. It is the sushi donut.
I hate
it.
That.
It is the Choco Taco.
When did that come out? The 90s?
I don't know.
I feel like they were so desperate to make something new that they just were churning out all these terrible ideas.
You know what? I feel like when the Choco Taco came up, it was somebody at like a tortilla factory. It's like, well, we have the molds. Let's just put the waffle stuff in it. Ta-da!
It was invented in the 80s, early 80s. Damn, I was really hoping it was a 90s invention. We were close. Because it would have just led more credence to...
You know what? I've never eaten one of those because chocolate ice cream, even from like a little kid, was like, eh.
You know what? They're actually not
thing.
that bad. I've had them a couple times. They're not that bad.
I'm not really a chocolate ice cream guy. I like vanilla.
It is filled with vanilla ice cream.
Why is vanilla? Yeah, but it's like...
It's just got the fudge inside it.
Not a fudge guy. Not a chocolate guy.
I'm definitely not a big fudge guy, but they're not bad. We'll get them sometime. Just to make you eat one.
Okay. How about a Choco Taco, but with spicy shit on the inside?
Like You mean like hot ice cream or just filled with things?
How about an Ed Sheeran
ketchup
choco?
That's kind of where I was starting to lean to. Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Like instead of fudge, it's like hot sauce or something like that.
Yeah, Frank's Red Hot taco. Frank's Red Hot ice cream. How gross would that be?
If any of us comes across the ketchup
ice cream, we gotta buy it.
We got to try it and tell the other. What if it's just at Baskin Robbins already?
Should we just order some on Amazon?
I would, dude. I heard about pickle icy pops this week, and apparently they already went through their whole life cycle, and they're like done selling them. So there's like only 5 left. Buy them now. There's only 5 left.
Like sweet pickle or like
no, like dill pickle, pickle
ice cream,
pickle concentrate. You know, the water, the brine, frozen in an ice pop. It's for like pregnant ladies and freaks. I like pickle. I like some pickle taste.
I like pickled things, but I don't need.
I like a pickle things.
I don't need pickle icy
pops.
How's
the cold season? I
don't need pickled icy pops. I actually bought a bunch of pickled stuff. I got like pickled green beans, pickled asparagus, all the spiced up stuff. Because those are so good.
You know what I got to do? I got to drain my pickle.
Yikes.
Talk
Yikes.
Talk to me.
Woo. Well, what's up with this story you sent me?
Let's not talk about that story. Let's talk about the bidet.
The bidet? Is it broken?
We're like halfway through the year of the bidet.
No regrets?
None.
No regrets on the bidet.
I've got a few.
Halfway through its lifespan of the year. You know, I was really thinking about getting one.
You know what? You should stop thinking about doing it and get it, because I literally have not bought toilet paper since last year. And I still have, like, all of it. All right. So this is like
that is reason enough alone.
We're halfway through the year of the bidet. And that's what got me to like finally do it. I was like listening to some comedy podcasts, and a few of them were like going on. They had this regular recurring thing about how they joked about having bidet. But then it was like, no, seriously, I have a bidet, and whenever I shit on another toilet and I have to wipe my ass, it makes me realize how actually fucking disgusting that is, and how fucking nasty my butthole feels after pooping on one of these peasant toilets. And that's how I feel when I poop at work. It's just like, ugh. Like, I just can't get it as clean. You know, you can wipe till it's white, but you know.
Yeah.
You know, there's still some smeared peanut butter.
Oh, yeah.
In the, I forget what it's called, the technical term for the sphincter, like that, like rotates. It's like a technical term for that kind of mechanism.
Cigar cutter.
The fucking
I could get down on that.
Maybe the vent port in the original Alien.
Maybe I'll have to get one then, because my fruit and
$20
food intake isn't so much higher.
Regret number 1. Fucking had the one girl from Shorewood Legion Hall. I think that freaked her out a little bit.
The bidet.
The bidet. It's just like, what was that squirting noise? It's a bidet.
Cleans your butthole.
Yeah, it cleans your butthole.
Saves on toilet paper.
So, like, she didn't say it in that moment. She's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, whatever. But it was like, it creeped her out, apparently. And apparently, it fucking freaks people out.
I saw that actually on a home selling
it's like,
television
why?
show, which name I won't mention, but they were trying to update these people's home to sell it, and the guy was like, I don't understand. The guy that was trying to sell the house, he's like, I don't understand why we have to get rid of it. Like, it's not for peasants, and and they were like, but it weirds people out. We gotta get rid of it. It's not a normal installment. And he was like, it should be though. And the one guy, they ended up taking it out to sell the house, and the guy was just very frustrated.
Why not just leave it optional? Or it's just like leave a bidet. You can get it as like a clip-on nowadays, which is the one I have. So Dave Tarantino came over last weekend, and he's like, we went up to the Seinfeld diner, had a meal. What he ordered looked like fucking barf on noodles, and apparently some I don't know what the fuck it was. It was some sort of like beef noodle dish. And the waitress comes up to her. She's like, oh, there's this lady who comes up from Kenosha every week just to have that. And I'm looking at it, and I was like, that looks like fucking plain-ass cremate boiled noodles with fucking brown beef, like, poured on top of it. So...
a box of noodles and something out of a can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, we get back, and he's like, oh, man, can I use your bathroom?
It's going right through me.
Yeah. So he gets in there. He's like, what is this device that is here? And I was like, it squirts water on your butthole. And he's like, oh, I won't touch it then. But for real, why is it such a fucking, like, weird thing for people? It's like, I don't want to have water squirted on my butthole. It's like, don't you wash your ass when you take a shower? Like, come on. You're literally taking soap, either a washcloth or your hand, and you're putting it in your ass. Otherwise, you are fucking nasty if you don't wash your ass.
Okay, I actually have a couple questions here. And to answer that question, it's just like an American resistance to the bidet. I know they're pretty popular in Europe. But after you rinse it, what kind of toilet paper are you buying that it doesn't just rip? Because like toilet paper doesn't do well with water.
You rinse it off and then you drip.
Dab.
You don't dab.
I mean, you dry it off. Right?
No, you like sit for a little bit. You just wait a little bit.
Okay.
And just like kind of let the excess water come off.
Then you finish with some toilet paper.
No.
But your butt would still be wet, kind of.
Not really. I mean, unless you're just like unless you're like angled weird, like you might if you're an amateur, you might get some fucking poopy water down your balls. But honestly, no, like you just chill out for a little bit. Let it kind of like air dry a little. They actually make ones with a blow dryer.
My interest peaked, man. Just like
no, for real. If you're in a fucking rush and you don't have any patience, like, and you'll get up, like, yeah. If you put toilet paper in there, it'll fucking shred.
Yeah,
it doesn't really.
TP doesn't do well with water.
Yeah, which is why you avoid that, and you just like chill a little bit, finish reading your article on Vice, and fucking just let your booty let it drip off, let it dry out a little bit. You're fine.
I could do that. Toilet paper's expensive.
But, yeah, if you do stand up too quick, put your pants on, all that shit, you're gonna have some shitty water like coming into your. Well, it shouldn't be shitty. It should just be water, but it's water.
But it's
just
water.
Like going
it's just not. That's not. You don't want.
But
that.
the thing is, it won't be shitty water.
Yeah, you'll just have water though, and that's. You don't want that.
Now I gotta tell you, if you get yourself just right, especially in the winter, like it's just like right in the right spot, it like kind of hurts. Too much pressure. That is possible. So you just have to learn how to manipulate it. But seriously, why are people weirded out about fucking having something that they literally do in the shower with their fucking hand daily and soap versus...
I really hope people are washing their buttholes too when they're taking a shower.
I've heard stories about people. It's like, don't you wash your butthole? It's like, no, that's icky. I don't want to put my hand in there. It's like,
I don't understand.
What about your asshole?
From the new Chips movie, I learned that people eat asshole on the first date. So I mean, like, you got to get over this hump here.
I mean, if you don't do that, you could be fucking giving somebody botulism.
Yeah.
With your fucking gut fauna.
Yeah.
Yeah, bidet. Let's see. Rice cooker investment. Good investment. Fucking use that thing for years. Use it like 3 times a week at least. Bidet. Awesome investment. $20. That's like a little bit more than a package of toilet paper.
Yeah, toilet paper's fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm. And like seriously, I have not gone through what I bought from last year yet.
And when you have a really good diet, you go through a lot of toilet paper.
Because you shit a lot.
Yeah.
It's that fiber.
Yeah.
They call me Thunderheart. They call me Fiber Heart Thunderbow.
So that's what I'm going through right now. Sorry, guys. We're talking about our...
Talking about poop. Everybody poops. We're talking about
a kid's
poops
book?
and sphincters.
That was a kid's book
Yeah, it was a
somebody
kid's
wrote,
book.
yeah.
Everybody poops. I think Trevor Noah said... actually, it was Sean Evans. I was talking to Trevor Noah on Hot Ones this week. And he said, you're the most eloquent and relatable when you're talking about poop. Apparently, he talks about poop a lot.
Did you get that message I sent you on Instagram?
I don't know. Have you been keeping an eye on chat on any of these?
I was just going to load it up because
load this shit up. Is there a way that you can not stream the video? Can't you do that from like the console? Because that like
Yeah, I'm going to the console right now.
So Macaulay Culkin was in town recently. Did some stuff with like Red Letter Media, and then they had this other one that went more viral. It was just like more Macaulay Culkin in Milwaukee pointing at stuff.
Well, I was going to ask you if you got that message I sent you.
About what?
What's the comedy duo? Schwartz and Tomlinson?
Yeah, you sent me that, and I was like, I don't know who that is.
Oh.
I didn't say that, but who is that? Some sort of sports betting duo?
No.
Dude, send me some of that shit, too. He's like, hey, check this guy out. Google this guy. It's like a fucking Jimmy Masterlock sports
Except he's like a
guy.
real guy, and he does it all the time.
Yeah. I looked at his website. It was like fucking $10,000 packages for fucking these sports deals. And it's like, wow, that must be nice to have that kind of money to just.
Yeah, somebody at
throw it
work was
away.
showing me him, and he was just like, look how crazy this guy is. And I was like, wow, I bet my friends would like that too. The comedy duo, though, one of the dudes plays John Ralphio in Parks and Rec, and he's done a couple other characters that I think are funny, but they do like an improv type deal.
Ooh, improv.
Could be good, could be bad.
Yep.
But I saw it today, and I was like, oh, they're in Milwaukee at 7. Which is already halfway over.
Right.
Sorry, I misread that. It's already 8.
That's
it's over.
That's what I was saying in my head. I was like, is he showing me this because he wants to go to it?
I mean, if you had expressed any interest, I would have been like, yeah, I'd be down to do that.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, yeah, it's already over probably by now.
Where were they?
The Paps.
Okay. Speaking of the Paps, I saw somebody post this thing this week. It was like XYZ band before they go on a stadium tour, intimate night at the Paps. And I was like, what's intimate about the Paps? Like, it's like the biggest theater in fucking Milwaukee besides an arena. It's fucking huge, dude. They cram you in there like fucking sardines. In fucking, like, white gloves and fucking tuxedo ties.
Is that the one we saw Seinfeld in?
No, that was Riverside. And,
I've been in the past.
man, those are fucking great. And I will always remember this fucking showing up late, no line to get drinks or anything like that. We grab our cans of beers, and then we show the usher our ticket, and they fucking usher us over to this secret passageway that I've never seen before. And it's just this, like, little dark hallway right to the front of the stage. And we are literally... Stefan is in a fucking beanie and a hockey jersey, and I'm in a fucking hoodie and a beanie. We look like fucking slobs. and we're sitting in front of like a woman in white gloves.
Yeah.
Who was like dressed to see the theater.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is the theater I saw Phantom of the Opera in. Yeah, it was. Yep. No, it wasn't.
The Paps
been
is
in
the
here.
place that I've seen. Oh my god.
Yeah, I haven't been in here.
Fucking I went to see A Christmas Carol there a couple times. Fucking great play. And I took this girl that I had met like when I was like playing in bands a ton back in the like 2010s.
Back when this guy was a fucking rock star.
Fucking met this and took her to a play. Mistake. She was just fucking bored. She's like,
I don't get it.
and then after I was like, oh, I just should have like fucked you and should have just done that gig.
Should have just gone for the kill.
Should have. Like sometimes that's just the move. That's just what it's after. But when you're young, you don't understand that. Unless you do. Unless you're just a fucking wild animal piece of shit meat.
I don't think I've ever been in the Paps, and it was interesting that you said Christmas Carol because that was the first link to the Paps. They must do that fairly regularly. Must be a regular thing.
Yeah, it's a yearly thing, I think. It's like as regular as Jim Gaffigan on New Year's Eve and fucking Harlem Globetrotters. That's the thing. When you're in Milwaukee on New Year's Eve, it's like party, Jim Gaffigan, Globetrotters.
You're not making it up. Literally, second news article is Jim Gaffigan coming back to the Paps.
This year?
Yep.
It's because his wife lives in Wisconsin, I believe.
Hot Pockets.
Yeah, 6 kids Catholic.
He'd still do the Hot Pockets bit, probably. Yeah, I was in Super Troopers. I did the meow thing.
Dude, he came back in Super Troopers 2.
Yeah, did you like Super Troopers 2?
I kind of did.
Or sorry, Super Troopers 2. Yeah, I thought it was actually really funny. I didn't really have.
It didn't have the fucking like the lightning in a bottle out of nowhere that Super Troopers 1 had.
But it was still the same brand of comedy. It felt good. It flowed well. Like it had some fun little twists in it.
I think they
thought
did
the
it.
critics' reviews of it were completely nonsensical. Like I believe I said this on here before. There were some critics who were like, "It's just potty humor."
Well,
and
that's
it's like
politics. That's film politics. You know,
Yeah.
who's been paid off, who's on what side, which company is trying to, bamboozle who. But
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm amazed that was crowdfunded and then still done as a, like they had the 20th Century Fox overture, but it was a Fox Searchlight, which the original one was too. But I'm amazed that it's still like considered like indie, But yeah, they had the Good Old Boys in it. They had Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
which I thought was like really good.
Yeah,
it
he
was
was
kind of
good.
like a two-faced little snake there.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I remember
They had some other celeb in there too, didn't they?
I remember. I can't remember.
Because I know Rob Lowe was the ex-hockey playing mayor who ran the strip club.
Oh, dude, what'd you think of the 3 Mounties?
Oh yeah, the one dude was from. One of the guys was an old Mad TV alum.
Oh, fucking
who were the other
what's
two?
his face? Fucking it's like tip of my tongue. Will Sasso.
Yeah, it's Sasso in there, and then the 2 other guys. They were great.
Just because of their fucking shit French accents, man.
Oh yeah, they were terrible, but it was good.
No, I pulled that on my dad today. He had something that had came up, and I was like, "Oh, is she a pea soup eater?" And he was like, "I don't know." I was like, "That means French Canadian, Dad."
Come on, haven't you seen
Canadian bacon.
Canadian bacon? Yeah, thanks.
Le Quebecois.
Did you see?
Pea soup eaters.
Have you seen their
French
other movie?
Canadians.
Did you see their other newer movie where they play like a wait staff? The boys from Super Troopers.
I don't know. I kind of got turned off to their movies after Club Dread and fucking Beer Fest.
What is it? What are they called? Broken Lizard?
Yeah, Broken Lizard. Yeah, apparently
This
there's
movie was actually pretty good. It's called The Slammin' Salmon.
2009. Is that the name of the restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check that
But
one
it's
out.
got
I mean, dude, they are so hit or miss. They're so hit or miss. It's like either the movie is great or the movie's shit.
it was good though.
But Super Troopers 1 was like a generational. It was almost like I told my dad to check it out because it was like a Hollywood Nights. He had shown me that kid as a kid.
Hollywood Nights.
It's with like Tony Danza and a bunch of fucking other people from the time. No, not
Bob Seger's
not Bob
song.
Seger. Hollywood Nights is about like a diner that's going out of business. That was like a hot spot for like teens.
Oh yeah,
to
like
cruise.
a hot rod drive
Yeah.
up, and they get a burger, and chicks roll around in the rollerblades and
Yep.
shit. Yeah.
roller skates. This isn't the 90s even yet.
Rollerblades, roller skates.
So it was just like a bunch of like comedy antics, just like a bunch of wild, wacky stuff. And I felt like Super Troopers was almost like on that par where it was just like a bunch of like prank fun stuff, like loosely framed around the story of like cops doing a drug bust. Like that's your framework, and then you just put the funny stuff on it. And I remember my dad watching, and he was like, I just didn't get that out of it. I was
From
like,
Super Troopers?
yeah. And I was like, what? It's like, it must be, maybe I'm the young one here.
I'm surprised that this like drive-in chill burger place.
Fucking like American graffiti style.
Yeah, I'm surprised those places don't. I mean, I'm not surprised they don't exist at all anymore, but I'm not surprised that someone hasn't tried to resurrect something similar. Almost.
I don't know. It's not that surprising because like, what was the teenage hot rod scene based around? Rich kids with expendable cash to soup up their cars. We're not exactly in like a prosperous time for young people right now.
I guess that's true. I was more just thinking about like a kid hangout type deal, because like kids hung out at the Greek diners and stuff.
Kids, like young adults, I should say.
But like when we were young adults, there was plenty of kids that hung out.
Yeah. Me and Dave Tarantino were just talking about Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like there would literally be a Shorewood show, which is practically as far east as you can go before you hit the Lake of Michigan.
Yeah, and then everyone would go meet up at the Odyssey because it was open 24
and
hours.
fucking Menominee Falls, 12 miles across town.
Yeah, but it's because of the 24-hour service type deal they had going on.
Ma Fisher's existed.
That's true.
It just wasn't the place for some reason. I think it was because like a lot of kids that were in that scene were
from Falls,
like the
Germantown.
suburbs.
Yeah.
And also like Shorewood gets a lot of credit for that stuff, but there was also Orchard Inn, which was like a big hub. So I guess that kind of makes sense, like why it would like hop across town. And
But I mean,
have like,
but to my point, it's like kids still. Well, maybe they don't, but I have a hard time imagining there's not a market for something of that line where it's just like you can come and.
I said it.
I guess they've been replaced with coffee shops. And
I've said it
else.
to JJ before. I just said, it was like, you should open a venue. And he was just like, I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah. It's like you're already more than halfway, though.
Yeah. You have the people. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah. No, I
Like,
agree with that.
He's got something going on at just his basement. Which, don't get me wrong, like, I don't want to like sound like I'm delegitimizing it by that, but like he should open a venue and run it like a place for with a stage and a sound system
and a hot rod drive up
and people on roller skates
and blades
serving
and
hot dogs.
else.
And then you can get sued by Sonic. And then the whole thing will just collapse.
You want to go get Sonic after this?
I mean, sure, if you want to go across town.
Sure. You can go get some hot dogs.
Sure.
Some ice cream.
Dude, I had this is like one of my favorite seasons about living right here is because Carl's Meat Market, which is like a staple meat market in the area, serves brats from like 11 to 3. So just like get off work, go visit the Pops, go get Carl's, like get a few cuts of meat to cook over the weekend.
Didn't you say their brats aren't as breathtaking as you thought it would be? Or was that...
I mean, it's a brat, but yeah, it's like, okay, it's not that great. It's like brats do not vary that much.
Yeah.
As long as you don't have like a fucking like salty, as long as your salt content isn't off, it's like really not that hard to fuck up a brat. But they cook them pretty good. Like they cook them so it's like I had the special today, which was some sort of like, I don't know, like Polish offshoot. It was like some sort of like Polish pepper sausage, and it was dank. But I could hardly...
I like those. They have
it's like
jalapeno injected,
called like Kishmin something.
Oh, they have these jalapeno Polishes at work sometimes that are really good.
That sounds American as fuck.
They're actually like jalapeno.
That sounds like Polish American Mexican fusion bullshit. That's delicious. I actually what I've been going there for lately is their chicken breast stuff. That's like they put like a vegetable and a cheese in the chicken breast, and then they wrap it in bacon. And I've been cooking that in the... They started vacuum sealing them, so that's why I've been going there. Is I just go there because it's already vacuum sealed, it's already seasoned. I just throw it in the sous vide, have the fucking water cook it, and then throw it on the Foreman grill to sear it. And it's a dank meal. So I've been going there for the jalapeno ones and the asparagus ones.
Asparagus ones.
It's like an asparagus Swiss chicken breast.
Never thought about
very,
that.
very good.
Sounds good, though. Now I'm thinking about jalapeno brats and all that other jazz.
Now you're thinking about going to Sonic.
I could eat... You made buffalo chicken nachos the other night, and those are always good, but I'm hungry. I'm always hungry.
Where the fuck is Sonic, anyways? It's like in the middle of town.
It's by
Miller Park.
Miller Park, yeah.
It's like by MS.
It's maybe like 3 blocks south of Miller Park.
It's by the fucking technical college.
There's a technical college over there?
Yeah. Used to see it all the time on my biker cycle.
I know it's near that old industrial building that's right off the railway line, which I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's like industrial waste and a Sonic.
I think it used to be an old coal plant or something. I don't think it's really even in service anymore.
Yeah, like all the industrial buildings in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. Like the middle of Milwaukee for like a good swath is like Detroit. It's just like abandoned industrial waste.
And they're just turning them all into condos now.
Yeah. Which I feel is bad because you can't expect like America to be this like service industry. You know?
Everyone's just going to be servicing each other.
Hey India. Hey India, come here. You want a little bit of this?
I mean, realistically, though, when you think about it, all we have downtown, you don't have a lot of you have some manufacturing jobs in the greater Milwaukee area, but downtown, most of the stuff down there is banking or service and some retail, and then everything's being ripped out outside of the bars.
I spit at that, man. It's fucking it's the wrong mindset, man. It really is. It's like it's gentrification. Oh shit. I was like, it's gentrification. And I accidentally hit the intro screen and it just went dark.
I don't. Yeah, I think you understand what I'm trying to say, which is just I don't know where the work's going to be in the future unless people are just going to be doing service jobs.
It's like, what happens? Is it just like, does the city become this like rich pimple? No. You've heard this like story over and over again. It's almost like a Coruscant, which is like a city covered, or a planet covered in city, and then like the lower levels are just full of like crime and street urchins. It's like, if you do that, if you just like make such a wide breadth of area, just like condos and restaurants and stuff like that, and these like upper level businesses where they just exclude people from even having a chance at it, that's where you get crime. It just breeds crime.
It's just very interesting because basically you have the same kind of work and jobs from Shorewood all the way over to the Third Ward. It's all pretty much the same stuff, except maybe Allen Bradley, Rockwell. Everything's just restaurants, service industry stuff, and
when I say service
retail.
Industry stuff, I don't mean like restaurants and
I'm talking like nail
Pampers.
Salons and barber shops.
I'm not talking like Pampers stuff. I'm talking like service industry, as in like you work in a building at a desk and you are like a service. You're like customer service. You're an offshoot from a place that does manufacturing someplace else. It's just like highly concentrated in an
talking
area.
about like call centers and shit.
Yeah.
They have a couple of those.
Not even like a call center, because a call center is like a fucking whipping chamber.
Yeah, you just go in and out.
Like a service industry, as in you don't actually do any labor at your work. Like
Okay.
there's no manual labor taking place. There's plenty of places, like it's like almost like if you have a place that has like a manufacturing aspect and an office aspect, if you just lop it off and move that shit someplace else, and then put your factory someplace else.
Gotcha. I guess there are still some manufacturing stuff in that part of the town, but it just seems like a lot of it is stadiums and whatever else have you.
Until we can... Oh, somebody... I feel like until like manufacturing technology catches up, like some of the additive stuff. I was actually talking to my pops today about like 3D printing, and then like 3D printing a positive to make a mold, and then you have your negative, and you use your 3D printer to basically do your iterations of your design, so you can just change it, so you're not like locked into a die that's cost thousands of dollars for injection molding. So you can just change it, and then you can go and make like a resin mold off of your 3D printed positive. You can make a resin negative, and then just like almost injection mold, but like cure it almost like an epoxy, something like that. See if it like the principles are there, and then you can like maybe go to an injection molded place with your other specifications and get that shit mass produced for the the benefits of economy of scale. I feel like we're entering in a period where that technology, like 3D printing technology, is not really there for the time investment. Because that's the cost of 3D printing, is like you don't have your tools, you can't make a ton of them because they take too much, but you can change whatever you want whenever you want.
Yeah.
I feel like until that technology gets a speed boon, we won't really see manufacturing return to these city centers. I feel like a lot of places, once that technology catches up, you're going to stop seeing like car parts warehouses for certain things, where you know, somebody has a part that they need, they ship it out from the warehouse. They'll just start having like a hub that can print things and like have them like mechanically reliable. And instead of keeping inventory, they'll just have these hubs that can print these things that you call up the fucking specifications, you have this place manufacture it, and they just ship it out locally. I feel like that's one of the things that's coming.
I don't know if we need necessarily the manufacturing downtown, but it seems like it's going to be interesting when in the not too distant future, a lot of the jobs will be outside of the city.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that the jobs need to be downtown. I'm more saying that there's a definite disconnection of the personality archetype of somebody who has a job that can afford them to live downtown.
Yeah.
Versus somebody who works in a factory outside of town.
Yeah.
It's a very real disconnect, and it's like one depends on the other. And I don't want to sound like I'm preaching some commie gobbledygook here. But it's like, why is one job valued over the other? Why does one job get so disproportionately overpaid and allow that kind of lifestyle?
I don't know. I'd love to live on a high rise.
Why? Power to the people. I'm gonna wreck your healthcare. I'm gonna wreck your manufacturing jobs. I'm gonna wreck your house. I'm gonna wreck your high rises. I don't have a good Bernie Sanders yet. We need to get some pundit impersonations so we can make fun of the upcoming election.
There's so many of them.
I know.
They got to get weeded out a little bit.
Well, apparently it's narrowed down to 5 who have made the debate that's going to go on. Apparently somebody made an arbitrary rule. It's like, okay, there's so many. It's just like,
Top 5, please. Yeah, call. So who will that be? Sanders, Warren, O'Rourke,
Budapest,
Biden?
Yeah, Biden's on there. Well, he has to be on there.
Hi, I'm Handsy Uncle Joe Biden.
You know what? It's not even the... There's just been like a lot of shit going around about him lately, and it's like, I don't know what to believe. Because I've seen people who are just like all about him. It's like, oh, he's ice cream eating Uncle Joe Biden when he was like on Obama's side.
Yeah, everyone was
but
just
now
like,
it's like, oh, he's not the one I want. He's the devil. Like it's literally become like these like rational people that it's like I've interacted with you online for a while. You're usually pretty logical. I respect your opinions. And now it's like literally... It's like almost like they're talking about him with the disdain that they talk about Donald Trump with.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Just a couple of years ago,
And
you were just sharing only pictures of Joe Biden hanging out with Obama as his best man and whatever else.
Just like fucking
matching bomber jackets and shit. Like, come on, buddy. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's bizarre.
It really is. Tis the season.
I'll tell you right now, the world is not ready for the deep fakes.
I don't know. I saw one earlier that was like, out of the last couple I've seen, weren't really well done.
Aren't that great. Yeah, the voices don't match up too great, but they don't have too much fine tuning to do before people are just, the world won't be ready.
I wouldn't say like it was in the voice, it was in the face. Because before it was the face thing. It was just the face. And now it's the voice too. And the voice I feel like is more believable for some of it than the face that syncs up with it, because they're getting both to do the same thing. Now I can't wait till that technology hits like a choir keyboards, man. So you can just have your own fucking choir.
Yeah, basically get a soundboard and they can just soundboard them out and you can get them to say whatever you want. Yeah, let's get some Alex Jones deepfakes going on.
Dude, you know what I heard? Alex Jones is going to replace Sarah Sanders.
For real?
No.
That's the thing is I wouldn't even put it past.
Right? Wouldn't that be the fucking... like, I wouldn't even care. That would be the shit. It would be insane. But could you imagine just, like, the news? You'd wake up in the morning and be like, You say the device preference, tell me the news, and then it would just tell you this crazy shit that Alex Jones said on behalf of the Trump campaign. I mean, it's getting to that point. How much further into absurdity can we get with this?
I don't know. I think we all actually died when that Mayan calendar hit because everything's just been going off the rails.
I swear to God.
I know you've seen people say that before.
This is getting to the point, and case in point, last episode we did, where you just went off the fucking rails of the Mueller report. You are not a fucking political guy.
No.
You are not a ride or die by your politics kind of guy. But it is getting to the point where, like, normal people are starting to get fucking crazy. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this happening? What is going to happen? Like, we have to do something about this shit.
Like, it's been... I was telling this guy at work, I was like, dude, this guy hasn't even been they haven't even finished one term yet. Like, he hasn't even got through all 4 of his years. But I feel like we've been living this for like 3 presidential terms. Like, I feel like this has been going on forever.
It's like the Truman era.
Yeah. And fucking... It's just an absolute disaster. Like, we have no... Like, on the global scale, no one takes America seriously. It's just like, they're a bunch of babies. I hate it.
And that's the thing that I mull over in my mind. It's like, has it always been like this? Or
No.
is this an extraordinary circumstance because you look back to the Bush years. It's like, oh, this is buffoon, dumb fuck Bush. And you look back to, just like presidential gaffes, fucking like Clinton, Bush before him.
Obama wearing a tan suit. What was he thinking?
But you get to this point, and I'm at the point where it's like, I don't think this is the case, but there's this like thing in my head. It's like, has it always been this ridiculous? Has it always been this ridiculous? And now it's just like, my frontal lobe has fully developed, 30 years old, and I'm paying attention. What the fuck is going on? Has it just always been like this, or is this new?
This is new.
You really think so? Well, I don't know if your frontal lobe is fully formed yet, Stefan.
Yeah,
You haven't hit 30 yet.
No, this is like, that's some of the defenders of Trump and all that say, they're just like, it's always been like this. It's just that now they have the reins. Like, it's always been this corrupt. I don't think so. I don't think it's always been this bad.
Corruption, yes, I think it's been like that corrupt.
It's been bad. But
like this is like I think it's like a tirade of like you said, it's an outsider. Not you said today, but I think you said it last week. He is an outsider. It's just like it's like electing a wrestling star. It is an idiocracy thing. It's like he is a reality TV star that's just been elected to be president.
Man, it's crazy. That's all I have to say. And you see now that there's just more. There's always been corruption, but now it's to the point that it feels like it shows that there's schisms and problems with the system itself, that it can't keep itself accountable, even with the things that are corrupt out in the open.
Right, in a system that was put in place to keep itself accountable.
And I mean,
to prevent a king or like a monarch, a Führer, something like that from evolving out of the system.
But a big part of this has to do with things like not only foreign influence, but with the inability of people to process information correctly from the right or the left via the internet or whatever means. And you have lobbyists and Citizens United and people that are just funneling money to get the result they want, and they have so much more money than...
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily for a particular political ends. It's just for their one thing that they want to be legal.
Yeah.
And like in a culmination of those, it just leads to a like a corporate oligarchy.
Yeah, it's a oligarchy or a kleptocracy, too. I've heard it called that.
What's a kleptocracy?
It's when
by definition
politicians use their own money and stuff for personal gains. Like Mitch McConnell's wife, she's the head of she's the transportation secretary. I think I nailed that one. I might be wrong. You can correct me in the comments below. But
I haven't heard that one in a few
she like funneled Mitch McConnell $78 million for special projects, and apparently it's just going right into his re-election campaign fund. It's just like, you can't do that. You shouldn't be able to do that, right? You shouldn't be able to take the transportation budget and give it to your husband.
Sounds like a conflict of interest.
Yeah, it just seems like there's a lot of things that you'd assume are conflicts of interest that are just being glossed over.
Well, when you're the fullback, and then you got your linebacker over here, and then you got your QB in the center, and you're all on the same team. None of those rules really make sense to hold each other for being accountable.
Yeah, that's something that I think this is gonna sound rude, but that's just like that older generation's thing. There's no accountability with those people. It's weird. Is that weird to say? Like, they say we aren't accountable, but they seem to live in a fantasy land.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it about all of them, but a lot of the older generation are living with it stems out of something that came from them. And you can't tell somebody that you did this and bombard them with it and have them all of a sudden see it your way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that dialogue is ever going to take place and there's ever going to be like a peace line across that. It's already happened. And it's just the you just need to move through time to have it eventually be undone. But basically, I feel like and there's like two generations almost. It's the flower power generation and the 90s generation. Both had these kind of youth movements that basically sold out once they got the opportunity to make money. Collectively, not all of them, but a majority of them sold out future generations and the planet to make themselves rich.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like the people that are in charge of things right now in the greater majority are very much a funhouse mirror reflection of that, where it's just like it's the most extreme.
It's like you're at the I wouldn't say at the end, because a lot of people say it's late stage capitalism, and I want to be one of those people who are like touting that thing, because you really don't know when the capitalism monster is going to end. But there's not a lot of opportunities being afforded that aren't completely fucking the person who is being enveloped into it. It's like you're expected to work internships for free to get experience in your field for years.
Yeah, I was just talking with a guy about that after hockey practice. He's like, I'm working 3 internships. I don't get paid for any of them. And he's like a law student. He did get offered a position to go to Columbus. He's in sports law, which was pretty interesting. But it's just like I need. He's like, I can't get a job. I don't have the experience. So he's just, like it's just this catch-22 basically for him.
A catch-22, that's some catch.
Yeah. He needs 3 years of experience. He's working internships. They're not paid. It's like,
you know what they used to call that in the 1800s? Indentured servitude.
Well, they changed a couple of phrases around,
yeah.
So it doesn't cover that.
Wow, we got pretty serious there.
The system doesn't work for some people here. I am getting a text message.
Hungry for Sonic? All right. It's been an hour 42. That flew by. It wasn't like last week where it was like,
did a pretty good job.
My fucking eyeballs are burning out of my skull and I need to end this.
I forgot about that too. Yeah, you got UV lit
Dude,
up.
Let me tell you this shit. After the fact, Sunday.
You have 20/20 vision? You're a fucking superhero now.
No, fuck. Yeah. See right through those sleeves of yours, Stefan. Stefan actually has sleeves on right now. I could just see right through them. I'll get this shit, dude. So they gave me this cortical steroid. It was prednisolone, which is very similar to prednisone, which has a track record of fucking people up in their fucking cardiovascular system. And I had an adverse reaction. I wouldn't say adverse, actually. I had known side effects, as they say. So I got them on Friday, which was the day I last saw you. And I started taking them, like every 2 hours or so. And then I'm supposed to take them every 2 hours except for sleep for the next 20 or 48 hours. So I get to Sunday morning and, I feel a little weird. Do not feel like myself. So I, keep taking the drops. It gets to about noon and I walk into the kitchen and my fucking limbs start going fucking numb. Like they start tingling and I'm like, oh, I know what this is. This is a fucking panic attack. My fucking heart starts like pounding onto my chest and shit. I was like, yep, this is a panic attack. Better fucking breathe into a bag for a little bit. Fucking do that for a little bit. It like gets rid of the fucking limb symptoms. but my fucking heart is still pounding out of my chest. And I'm like, this is... I thought I recognized the drug, but it wasn't prednisone. It was prednisolone. And I have just heard about people coming off of that stuff having just the worst time.
Isn't that just crazy?
But they're fucking eye drops, dude.
I know, but isn't that crazy? That,
It is.
Because you think they'd catch that in clinicals more, where it's just like, I'm trying to come off this, and I'm going
it doesn't
to explode.
happen to everybody, but it happens to a lot of people. But there's more people that the stuff that it helps outweighs the symptoms.
The side effects.
It's meant for like anti-inflammation, which my eyes were like fucking majorly inflamed. I think they're just like giving it to me to make sure my eyeballs don't like burst, pop out of my head, whatever.
That's another thing
I don't know what
that's going to
happens
be
with that.
interesting next week is when I go to my doctor's appointment for the cough, I have like a pimple inside my ear canal or something, and it's extremely uncomfortable.
Did you try to get it with your kit? Is that how you discovered it?
No, Brittany can't see it, and I asked her to look in there, and I can't maneuver.
How do you know?
It just, you know how you can like feel like the tightness and the soreness, and there's like a little lump. It feels like there's a pimple. Could be something else. Could be a bug. I could have a bug in my ear.
Could be a moth me. So yeah, my eyeballs are okay. The fucking drug side effects were worse than the fucking accident symptoms. Like literally I like had a fucking migraine headache, couldn't look at light, my eyeballs were bloodshot and they itched. And then I took these drops and they almost gave me a goddamn heart attack. I was watching the new Predator movie, actually.
Predators?
No, Predators is dope. The Predator.
Okay, that's what it was called. They just do a slight variation on the title Predator, and so it gets a little complicated. Because they don't do 1, 2, and 3 or 4 anymore. It's nuts.
Predator, awesome. Predator 2, corny, not awesome, but not as bad.
Donnie Glover's in there.
Donnie Glover, fucking...
he skins Rastafarian gang members. It was great. I love that movie. He's like on top of...
Gary Busey was in that one, too.
Yeah, he's like on top
You know
of...
who's in The Predator? Jake Busey.
Cool. But fucking in Predator
Cool, I don't
2,
give a shit.
he's like on top... They're not in New York. They're in Chicago, right?
I don't know, some sort of...
They're in some city, but
think it's
the
LA.
Predator's like on top of
I wanna
this
say
building.
LA.
Yeah, the Predator's on top of this like skyscraper, and it's just out on like a what do they call those? It's like a standoff that a gargoyle would be on.
Gargoyle.
And the,
I was
and the
gonna say.
Predator just is like terrible Predator cry, but yeah, that movie was cool. I mean, I was really
And that's a bad miss.
It's been a while since I pulled a soundbite.
yeah, but I thought that movie was cool. But the Predator.
I thought the second movie sucked because my dad told me it sucked, and then I watched it and I was like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as good as the first one.
Well, yeah.
If that's what your standard is, but
First one's like the ultimate movie.
I feel like Predator and Predators are like on the same level of goodness. Predators is fucking great.
That's the one where they go to their planet.
Yeah.
And there's like the evil predators and the good guy predators, and
But it's still like they're all like killers of different archetypes.
yeah,
And they're just being hunted, and it's just another jungle setting.
yeah. I haven't seen that one yet, but I know the
Dude,
premise.
watch that one, dude. It is, I would say, almost as good as the original.
I'm trying to get out to see Godzilla King of Monsters.
Dude, I want to go see that shit.
We were gonna go yesterday, but I might
wanna go see that
I
shit.
might go tomorrow before my hockey game.
I don't know if I'm trying to go that early.
My
When's your
hockey game's at like 7:38, so I'd go at like 2, 3-ish.
I don't know. Give me a
Depends
call.
on what the film times are.
I have I have songs that I have to learn for a band, and I might play in.
Oh, I was gonna say this isn't for going to Vegas with the boys, is it?
Oh no.
You're still
we
doing
don't
that,
talk
right?
about that.
No.
We don't talk
Okay.
about that yet.
Okay. A new band? What kind of music?
Something that's not a style I've played before. It's like I'm not the leader of this one either. So they have like material written already. So I'm like,
Leader of the pack. You know that song?
ah.
It's like a motorcycle riding song. They used to play it at Goodwill all the time.
What was that other song that's just like that? Fucking my boyfriend's back in town.
So
That's like
what
some
kind of
shit
music
that
is
they
it?
play at it's like emo and hardcore. Never been a big emo guy. So I had to ask. It's like, hey, could you send me some like references for this stuff so I can listen to it?
Would they send you some Taking Back Sunday? Or is it like Chiodos
no.
and shit?
Let's see here.
Seosin, or is it like...
Actually have a list. If I can call this up. Yes, I can.
Because emo is kind of like a wide...
I'd say it's like more metal and hardcore with like emo elements to it. But let's see here. I mean, it's like a bunch of albums I've never fucking listened to.
Like Under Oath and shit, or what?
Chariot, Norma Jean, Every Time I Die, Knock Loose, Misery Singles, The Bled, Thrice, Under Oath, Pierce the Veil,
Yikes.
Drop Dead Gorgeous, Thursday, Hidden in Plain View.
Yikes. I like Misery Signals out of that list, but Misery Signals was basically Seven Angels, Seven Plagues. Wasn't it, though? Like, it was most of the guys from that.
I remember seeing them someplace, and I think it was in Chicago. It was in not Michigan. That's Wisconsin. Joliet. It's just a fucking ghost town of manufacturing. There's like a Mexican restaurant, a casino, and a venue, and the rest is just dust. And I saw Chimp Spanner there, and I think it was Seven Angels, Seven Plagues that played with him. And I remember catching the drummer's eye because me and Dave had Dave Ito had fucking just great seats. There was like a glass staircase and a fucking chair that you could just sit. They're like recliners. If you got them, you just like sit on the side of the stage and fucking see everything.
Oh, it was like when we went to Seinfeld and we got the super seats.
Yeah, but it was like first come, first serve on that.
Yeah, except this was elbows thrown for those.
I remember like ordering way too many tequilas and just like turning around. I was like, oh, you're Jeff Loomis. But fucking, I remember Seven Angels, Seven Plagues, they were fucking playing, and I fucking found like a like white on black cross, and I was just like, yeah, like holding it up, and then fucking turning it upside down and just be like, and fucking catching the drummer's eye. He's like, yeah. it was like one of those things. It was like on a screen. It was like so contrasted that is like you couldn't help but see it. It was like, oh, I haven't seen that done before.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun.
Because they were from Milwaukee, right?
Maybe it's not the same band I'm thinking of.
I thought these guys were from the MKE area.
It can't be the same band I'm thinking of then. Maybe it is. I don't know.
It was a long time ago.
Saw these shows a long time ago. Back in 94. All right. We're at like
We're
153.
wrapping this up here.
Let's wrap it up.
We don't want to hang out with you guys anymore.
Nope. Da 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 da.